అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. Today is the 6th day of our classes on Shodasa Samskaramulu by Dr. Tangirala, Somanchi Tangirala, Visalakshi garu. We will start the session with Vande Mataram by Chala Chittibabu garu and Prarthana by Shandilyaji. Chala Chittibabu garu.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujala Sufala Malaya Jasitala Sasya Syamala Mataram Vande Mataram Subrajyosna Pulakitayamini Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhini Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini Sukhadam Varadam Mataram Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
వందే మాతరం. ధన్యవాదములండి చలా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Shandilyaji to chant Prarthana, please.
Subhodayam. Let us first meditate for a minute. Kindly close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Now let's chant Om 3 times. Om. Om Ganana Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatana Srunvannoti Bhisida Sadhanam Om Sri Mahaganadipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vityavatu. Om Sri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva Gatit Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guru Paramam Sisurasmi Guruhu Matirasti Guru Mampahi Guru. Jnananandmayam devam nirmalaspatika-krutim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam-upasmahe. Shruti Spruti Purananam alayam karunalayam namami Bhagavat Pada Sankaram Loka Sankaram Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mruchorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्य देवो भव अतिथि देवो भव। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुभ्यो नमः।
ధన్యవాదములండి సండిలియా గారు.
నమస్కారం.
Now let us request Visalakshi garu to continue the webinar, please.
ఓం శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ పార్వతీ రాజరాజేశ్వరాభ్యాం నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మేధా దక్షిణామూర్తయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః. ఓం శివాయ గురవే నమః. ఓం నమః శివాయై చ నమః శివాయ. ఓం నమః శివాయ. Now out of Shodasa Samskaras we have completed 13. Today we will complete 14th and then start to 15th. 15th is Vivaha Samskara, which will be continued tomorrow, and tomorrow we can complete Shodasa Samskaras. So 14th one is Veda Vratas. This is the Samskara that will be performed by the priest or Brahmagaru or the Acharya along with Vatu, along with the Brahmachari before the marriage. So the Brahmachari is permitted by the Acharya to go home and get married after completing education. But 4 Veda Vratas are to be performed and studied after completing regular Veda Achayana, for which are common to, of course, all the Vedic students. All these Veda Samskaras are common to all Vatus, but befitting to their own either Rigveda or Yajurveda, Samaveda, they study that Veda particularly and all other Vedic parts and other Siksha, etc. Vedangas also. So before the Brahmachari, before the marriage of Brahmachari, he has to do these vratas. They are known as Prajapatya Vrata, Saumya Vrata, Agneya Vrata, and Vaishwadeva Vrata. These 4 vratas together is called as Veda Vrata or Veda Vrata Samskara. So the ritual done for studying Prajapati Devataka mantras is called as Prajapatya Vrata. So the Acharya wants to reform his disciple. So along with him, Guru also, master also gets his hair removed, and both master, Acharya and Shishya together they take bath in the river. Then they both together do Vikneshwara Puja, take Sankalpa, do Punyaha Vachika. Acharyaha Sishyena Saha Vapana Purvakam Nadyam Snatva, like that the procedure is described in the Granthas, Smriti Granthas, and that is Gruhya Sutras. Taking Sankalpa, they start to do worship, preparing the Mantapa, stretching a new cloth, white cloth. Over it, they should pour rice on that. Then they should invoke and invite Shad Rishis and do Shodasopachara Puja to them. Shat Kanda Rishis, they say. Sapta Rishis are different and these Shat Kanda Rishis are different. They are Prajapati, Sagumkhiti Devatas, then Yagniki Devatas, Varuni Devatas, Swayambhu Chaturmukha Brahmadeva, then Sadasaspati. These gods are to be invoked and worshipped. After worshipping them, they should give tarpanas to them and do homas. Then both Acharya and Shishya should stand up and pray with folded hands like this. We are performing this Prajapatya Vrata. O Agnideva, Vayudeva, Suryadeva, all the gods, all of you, please make our Vrata success. Then they have to pray Surya Bhagavan. Aditya Deva, Aditya Vratapati and Vratanam Pati. Latter should do Prayaschitta Homas. Then Sishya should do Pranama, bow down with Sastanga. He should do Namaskara to Guru and take his blessings. Tata Samvatsare Paryavete. Then onwards for 1 year, the disciple should study and practice this Prajapatya Vrata. So it takes 1 year time to study this Vrata. Prajapatya Devataka Mantra Adhyayanam, as it is said. After doing Prajapatya Vrata, study and acquiring that knowledge is very essential. So after 1 year, he becomes perfect with that. Then they should do Prajapatya Vrata Utsarjana. Because this is Havana Puja, when once the gods are invoked, again they should be sent back to their residence, the place from where they have come. Even at the time of Prajapatya Vrata Utsarjana, they should do as they did at the beginning of Prajapatya Vrata. That is Shutyartham, Vrutyartham, Shantyartham, Apyudayartham, like that they should say. They should do all these Vratas and Vrata Utsarjanas, we say Vrata Ujjapanas in our Nomulu Sandal. Here it is Utsarjana. So even after doing this karma, again Guru and Sishya should get Vapana karma done to them, because for that 1 year, the Sishya should not remove that, even Guru. So they both do that Vapana karma, then take path, become holy, come home to do Apyudaya karma and Swasti Punyaha Vachika. Then, just as they performed this Prajapatya Vrata and Utsarjana, similarly, in the same manner, they should do Saumya Vrata, Agneya Vrata and Vaishwadeva Vrata also. By doing these Vratas, worshipping gods and pleasing them, by giving Tarpanas and doing Homas, the gods will be very much pleased and they yield the desires. So Guru Sishya Sankalpa would be fulfilled. So what all Vedic Jnana they have acquired, the Vedas they have studied, the mantras along with Swaras, they would remain in them intact till the end of their lives, till they leave the body. Thus, the Brahmachari must complete these 4 Vratas in 4 years before his marriage and get the blessings of Guru, and then he should come back. That is, he can do marriage and enter into Grihasthasrama. After becoming a Grihastha, again, he must become Acharya and start this Guru Sishya Parampara. Now, 15th Samskara is marriage, Vivaha Samskara, which is very holy, very sacred, very great and very important. When this marriage is celebrated, they enter into Grihasthasrama, which is the best asrama among the 4 ashramas, we can say. Advaitam Sukha Dukkhayoranugatam Sarvasvavastasu Yet Visramo Hrudayasya Yatra Jarasa Yasminnaharyo Rasaha Kalena Varanatyayat Parinate Yat Snehasare Stitam Bhadram Tasya Sumanushasya Kathamapyekam Ki Tat Prarthyate. Vagartha Veda Samskruti Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameswarau. Om Sri Sita Ramabhyam Namo Namaha. This is a Advaitam Sukha Dukkhayor Anugatam sloka is written by Bhavabhuti Mahakavi in Uttara Ramacharitra. This is a very wonderful sloka. While speaking about the Dampatya of Sita Rama, no one can tell better about this Dampatya Dharma, which is described here in this sloka as Advaita. Advaita means which is inseparable. There is no second one. One exists, we do not say Advaita. Advaita is not there. It means only one. So they say Dampati, Jaya cha Patihi cha Dampati, wife and husband. Two people, in fact, they are separate. Even then, the moment with mantras, with Vedic mantras, Vaivahika mantras, in the presence of Agnideva and all other gods, when they get married, they become one. So the word Dampati is given in Ekavachana, Dampati, though two are there. So thus, then onwards, they become inseparable. Though they appear as two, that is, two bodies are there, but only physically they are separate, but mentally, spiritually, and then through the spiritual Achyatmika Shakti also, they are considered as wife and husband are considered as only one. So that is the greatness of the bond of Vivaka, Dampatya Bandha, the marital tie, we say. Two different members, a girl and a boy, born at different families, grown up at a different atmospheres by their own respective parents and relatives. The moment they become one with the bond of marriage, they live as the person and shadow. Just as the shadow is inseparable to us, similarly, wife and husband, they are shadow to each other. And in joys and sorrows, throughout their life, they live as one, sharing equally all the feelings. The happiness or sorrow which one experiences, the second one also experiences the same. There cannot be any happiness to either of them. So in all parts of life, they accompany each other. This Advaita bond gives rest to the heart and gives Shanti, solace to the mind and heart. So as time passes and old age steps into their lives, this bond will be tied more, and the veil of differences between them, these two, wife and husband, will be removed. Why the veil of difference? Because both of them are different and unknown to each other. So the girl naturally feels bashful to approach her husband, and she wants to know about him, and even he wants to know fully about the feelings and all, the desires, willings, aspirations of wife. So that a little difference, the veil would be there. As time passes away, that veil would be simply removed, and the relationship between wife and husband will get matured, and the bond of love grows stronger and stronger, and the bliss of this bond increases, ananda, but it never decreases. So everyone prays for such a bond, but it would be obtained only by those who are very fortunate, unless they have done a lot of merit in previous births. One cannot get a good life partner. If the husband is very nice and understand noble virtuous person, the girl's life would be very happy. If the girl's qualities and mentality is not good, the man's life and his family members' lives also would be ruined. So everyone prays for such a bond, but it would be obtained only by those who are very fortunate. Such is the greatness of Vivaka Bandha, spoken in our Sanatana Dharma. Sri Sitarama's marital bond is of such a type. Sri Rama's heart exists in Sita Mata, Sita Mata's heart, and Sita Mata's heart exists in the heart Hridaya of Sri Ramachandra. Such is the inseparable bond of love of Dampatya Dharma of Sri Sita Rama. That is why among human couple, Sita Ramas have become ideal to all of us. And when any married couple bow down to elders, they bless them to live a very happy married life with mutual love as Sita Rama. So Everyone should be like Sita Mata, all girls, and all boys should be like Sri Ramachandra in love, confidence, and regard to each other. That is the greatness of the bond of marriage, which makes two different persons as one with the pious marital, with the pious mantras of marriage, marital relationship, and makes them live inseparably lifelong. One of the most important samskara among Shodasa samskaras of our Sanatana Dharma is this marriage bond that connects Kama Purushartha with Dharma Purushartha. In Chaturvidha Purusharthas, we say Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, and it makes them enter into Grihasthasrama. Grihasthaschramis, they become which is the caretaker of Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasasrama people, and slowly it leads to Moksha Purushartha. So the wife and husband, the moment they get married, the spiritual, the Veda mantras of marriage themselves, they invoke in them, they awaken the spiritual ideas in both of them, wife and husband. They lead very happy, dharmika way of life, and that leads to attain moksha, the final aim of human life. So this marriage samskara is so pious because it keeps the line, the vamsha survive. They get children, thereby they become free from pitruruna, and also the dynasty would be survived and kept alive. So this bond of marriage is considered to be the bond of several births, mostly sapta janma we say. So between wife and husband, it is janma janmantara bandha or sapta janma bandha as we say, which gives mutual cooperation to wife and husband physically, mentally, spiritually, and socially also, and also in achieving their final goal, what physical, laukika, and also paramarthika. So physically in this world also, each one may be aspiring to get something. So the wife should cooperate to husband to gain, and husband should cooperate to the wife to achieve their goals in the life and get good name and fame. And then Atma Bandha, it is considered as Atma Bandha to both of them. So by which they recognize what is Atma and what is Brahman, and should become Brahman themselves. So a man got a right to perform Deva Yajnas and certain Srauta, Srauta Yagas, Yajnas, only when he got married with Veda mantras in front of fire god as witness to their marriage. Patyurno Yajna Samyoge, they say, when she is the Patni when married with Veda mantras as Agni Sakshi. Similarly, the husband also. The children born through such a lawfully wedded wife, Dharma Patni, alone possess the right to do Pitru Karyas. Gautama Maharshi called this Vivaha Samskara as Sahadharmacharini Vrata. So the importance of Vivaha Samskara is spoken in Manusmriti as Dharathinas Tatha Swargaha Pitrunam Atmanaschaha. It is in the hands of the wife, the girl that is going to get married and become wife of this person, that the forefathers attain meritorious lokas, higher unnata lokas, because unless she cooperates, he cannot do anything, he cannot perform any rites. Even Ichanayamitika karmas also should be done by that person, Grihastha, with the cooperation of wife only, Dharma Patni. This marriage, though celebrated only once in the life, yet Maharshis called this as Nitya Karma. Nitya Karma means the work done every day. Why? Because it makes them obtain the power to practice Nitya Naimittika karmas every day. And now and then, whenever they need Naimittika karmas, they do. Nitya karmas every day they do. Both of them do. With the cooperation of wife, husband does. So it is Nitya karma, the marriage. There are so many relationships to a man in this world, but the most pious and inseparable and most valuable bond is the bond of mother and children first. Then after Mata, Pita, Putra Sambandha, then the bond of Patni, the wife and husband, is also as pious and inseparable as that of parents. A girl and a boy who are unknown to each other till that time, till the marriage, they are tied with the samskara of vivaha, performed in the presence of gods with the chanting of mantras. So actually, what is meant by vivaha? Why do we call the girl and boy as vara and vathu at the time of marriage? Then how is the marriage samskara performed? What are the meanings behind? What significance is there for the Veda mantras? What are the inner meanings behind them? What is the goal of this marriage? In what manner the priest and the parents do this samskara to vara and vathu with the chanting of mantras? So all these points are to be known by us. How the marriage bond is created between them with the mantras, by chanting the mantras. So what all works we have to do for marriage in the beginning. That is when parents take decision that this girl and boy should get married, then both the parties, the parents of both vara and vathu, they start to do so many works. And in the marriage also a big procedure of performing the marriage is there. So all these points also are to be known, but mostly all of us, we are all aware of them. So here in this, our lectures, we will try to know the most important mantras and the meanings of all the mantras, mostly. So the word vivaha. Vivaha is formed from the root vaha. Vaha prapane with the upasarga vi. So, vahayati prapayati iti vivahaka. This is the etymological meaning given to the word vivaha. Vi means visesha. Vi also means vigata, but visesha is to be taken here, specially, particularly. Very greatness, vaha, vi. Then vaha. Vaha means to bear, harinchadam. So, vivaha is that which makes to obtain wife for maintaining the duties of grihasthasrama dharmas, for bearing them, for maintaining them, household duties. According to the Shastra, there are 8 methods of marriages. And also, it is called as vivaha, vivaha, viseshena vahanam. Vahana can also be turned as havanam. So, because both of them should do havana, yajna, yagadi, kratus, and please the gods. That is why gods always bless this couple to be happy, because unless they get married, unless they do these Rauta Smarta yajnas, unless they offer Havir Bhagas, gods cannot get food. So when they get these Havir Bhagas, they will be enriched and strengthened. They become very happy. They bless the entire mankind, the universe, the nature with proper rains and good health, wealth, progeny, etc. to these people. So, according to the Shastra, there are methods of marriages. Among them, which method is to be followed by whom is also well explained in our Shastras. The marriage should occur in the befitting manner to girl and boy. So Manusmriti says these 8 methods of marriages in one shloka. Brahmo vaivas tathaiva arshaha, prajapatyas tatha suraha, tatha asuraha, paishachu rakshasaschaiva, gandharvasya ashtamo vithihi. So the 8 varieties of marriages are Brahmi Vivaka, Daiva Vivaka, Arsha Vivaka, Prajapatya, Asura, Paishacha, Rakshasa, and Gandharva Vivaka. So the characteristics of all these 8 varieties of marriages are described there in detail. Normally, we all do Brahmi Vivaka. In Brahmi Vivaka, the decorated bride would be offered to a virtuous bridegroom with water, jala. By this Kanyadana, Kanyadata's 10 generations prior to him and 10 generations after to him, including his generation himself, 21 Taramulu, we say 21 Taras, generations would be elevated and would get moksha, would be liberated. So the Upanayana Samskara and Vivaha Samskara, both should be performed according to Shastra with sincere belief and utmost shraddha in the mantras and gods. If they are not conducted properly according to Shastra, then the aim with which we do them will not, we will not get that phala. So it is lost to our Sanatana Dharma. So a house, the society, or even the nation will get enriched depending upon the character of women. It is spoken in all our Shastras, Itihasas, and everywhere. The chastity of woman, the nobility, the good ideas the girl gets, that dominates, in fact, each and every individual of the family, society, and the nature. So the women should always be very virtuous, very righteous, and possess good qualities, good feelings, good behavior, and good traits. As given in our Shastras, we can see the face, we can see the person, but the feelings, the ideas, the behavior, the wishes, we cannot assume nowadays. But in the olden days, mostly each and every girl used to live, she was brought up as Adapilla, as we say in our Telugu. The girl that belongs to that dynasty is taken care here. So all the parents used to nourish their daughters with the feeling that the girl develops automatically love, regard, respect, and a sort of dharmika fear in her mind since childhood. With such noble good qualities, she keeps her foot in in-laws' house. So the family becomes heaven with the stepping of this girl. But nowadays it is different and quite opposite in certain families. So now at least people should try to develop these Sanatana Dharmic ideas and way of life. So naturally, of course, the women, they possess very good feelings. They are very delicate by nature because God, Jagannatha herself created. We already spoke about this. So mostly 99% women, 99.9 also, they possess all noble traits and good qualities. Only exceptional cases will be here and there. So naturally, all women possess all the good qualities of modesty, bashfulness, endurance, loving nature, capacity of doing household work, then smiling face. Always, though suffer a lot, the smile will not leave their face. They face them with pleasure, with sahana, then purity in thought, delicacy in behavior, then regard for elders, mother, father, of course, but mother-in-law and father-in-law also. Then all the elders of the in-laws family also, they respect. So she loves her husband as if the husband is everything to her. The husband is equal to mother, father, God, guru, then mentor, everything, friend. a well-wisher, so like that. So regard and love, devotion she possesses for her husband and for all family members, of course. So Shraddha in the honor of in-laws family, that is most important. Kutumba Gaurava, she should keep up the prestige of that family among all the relatives of both herself and in-laws, of course, and then respect in the society. So respect for the well-being of husband having stritva, satitva and matrutva. So if wife is virtuous, she can mold every one of the all members of the family as very virtuous and noble. But if women are wicked, cruel, selfish, do not care and respect in-laws people and the members of that family, then suppose do not respect even the husband, if she is very egoistic, have bad qualities, and then there will not be any peace and happiness in the family, in the minds of all the members. And even when families are destroyed like this, society also gets destroyed and even the nation. Arjuna said the same in Bhagavad Gita. Strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. Therefore, the girls need to be brought up with the knowledge that they are girls, Adapillalu. So they have to go to their mother-in-law's family. That is their house. They should love and honor all the members there, befitting to them. Because my husband, then mother-in-law, father-in-law, their children. So to this girl, they should be like brothers and sisters, all the elders and youngers of brothers and sisters of that boy. So, and marriages should be performed when the girls are of the age of 12, in between 12 to 15. That is really the ideal age to be performed the marriage. So that when the marriages are performed at this age, the girls age between 12 to 15 and boys age between 18 to 20. Then the 18 means 18 to 20 is the correct time, in fact, and good age. So when at this is the marriage is celebrated, then automatically the girl develops love, attachment, and we say ishtamu, that liking should be there. And our people, she must have the feeling that they are ours. Nowadays, when after 25 years the marriages are done, she never gets the feeling that in-laws members are her people. And she feels only herself and her her mother and mother's parents. So this is the right age, and they can enjoy the life also. And children would be born at proper age when the body is in full healthy condition. So this is the proper age. In fact, as per our Shastras also, Shastra tells that the bride should be selected very carefully because Kupharyaya Jivitam Nashtam. In the same way, the Vara also is to be selected. If he is not virtuous is different. If he is having bad qualities, bad vices, then her life is ruined. So both Vara and Vathu should be with good traits and virtuous. If an arrogant and selfish, egoistic girl comes or boy comes, then there will not be any happiness to their married life itself. If the husband starts dominating the girl, then how far she can endure? Naturally, she also starts fighting at one time or other. Such clashes should never arise in life at all, in the lives of anybody. So they should have mutual love, proper honor. That is why the parents of both Vara and Vathu should search for a virtuous bridegroom, virtuous bride, having honest, loving nature, education, earning capacity is to be seen for Vara, having orthodox feelings. Apastamba Gruhya Sutra said, Suhruda Samavetan Mantravato Varan Prehinuyat. Similarly, of girl. The marriage is a very auspicious event. So if mother and father both are virtuous, celebrated marriage in properly as per Shastra, then the children born to them, their children would also be very virtuous and noble, have regard and concern for parents and for our Sanatana Dharma, and they care about the society and the nation particularly. So in Mimamsa Tantravartika, it is said, Anyatra Avinayam Kurvan Pitruphyam Varyate Sutaha Tayoreva Avinitasya Ko Bhavid Vinivarakaha. If our children misbehave with others, we, that is the parents, can tell them, that is our children, to behave properly. We can teach them, Buddhi Jepputa we say, Manam Buddhi Jeptam Pillalaki, but if they misbehave with us, with the parents, if the son and daughter-in-law misbehave with the parents, mother and father, mother-in-law and father-in-law, then how can we prevent them? How to ward off them? It is not possible. So the elders have to suffer at the fag end of their lives. So our children, to be virtuous and morally well, their parents need to be virtuous and with good conduct. So the seed, when sowed in the proper fertile land, it sprouts and the good tree comes and good fruits and flowers can be obtained. But if it is the barren land, then what happens? The sprout will not come at all. The tree and the fruits and flowers can never even be imagined. Similar is the case with the children, with the parents, with the members. So with good, when they are with good conduct and good behavior, then their santana also would be born virtuous. So for children to be righteous, their place of birth, their place of production must be righteous. So must be reformed with Vedic mantras, and very good marriage bond should be created between them with pramanas and vagdanas. Before entering into married life, Grihasthasrama, both of them should do pramanas along with pranama, of course, namaskara. So taking a sort of oath, when they take oath in front of gods, in front of fire, in front of all relatives, how can they trespass it? Cannot. So the mantras and the oaths they take make them tied together. That is why in our Sanatana Dharma, we, the parents, the wife and husband, they live long happily. Whereas at foreign countries, mostly, of course, even nowadays, they are also taking our marriage system as ideal. But because of such sanctity is not there, and because they get married only due to attractions and to enjoyment, laukika, physical, so the marriage bond is very limited, remains only for limited years in Western countries mostly. So after a few years, they divorce and they do not feel at all and get married to some others. So such feelings are not at all there in them. Really, we wonder. So, but nowadays, many people, most of them are respecting, they are loving, and even they want to get married according to our Sanatana Dharmic way of marriage system and become united, and they also want to live long together without seeing the face of others. So that is very good development, greatness of our Sanatana Dharma. It is said, no matter how hard we try, marriages will be made in heaven. So marriages are decided at the result of our own deeds or debt, runa. Runanubandha rupena pasupatni sutalaya. So according to that bond of previous births, marriages are settled in the heaven, and now on this earth we execute them. So that is why we have to make sure that our deeds are cultured. So Stritva is there in every woman, of course, because she is the Stri. After marriage, Satitva comes to her and she gets Patnitva. And also after they lead married life and when children are born, she becomes mother, then Matrutva comes to her as the blessing. The most aim of, in fact, getting married is to get children, to be called as mother and father, Mata Pita, to keep up the lineage. So after marriage, the girl becomes Dharma Patni to her husband. The man gets Kartrutva. Till that time, he is only a Yuva. Now he becomes Bharta. So Kartrutva comes to him after marriage. That is, he must have the tolerance to bear with his wife, taking care of her in all respects, bearing the burden of her, then the children produced to them, that is born to them. So when they become Dampati, they gain this Matrutva, Pitrutva, and by that only they become very happy because that is the fruit of this marriage bond. So after getting fruits, they naturally become happy. Then automatically their love would be sent towards the children and concentrated on them. That is why they could bear the separation of the mother and father when they depart, leave the body and go away. They can still live and survive because of the bond of wife and husband and children. Otherwise, no one can bear the separation of mother and father. So they gave this happiness to Pitru Devatas by doing Pitru Karyas. Then they please God performing Srauta Smarta Yajna Yagadi Dharma Karyas. They do Pancha Yajnas and then by Atithi Yajna, then Bhuta Yajna, they Sankha Yajna, Samaja. They give happiness to all the neighbors, all human beings, then all birds, beasts, the nature and all. Thus they become very happy and give happiness to each and every one of the creation by this marriage bond. That is the greatness. So by this they do Nichyanaimittika karmas, Rauta Smarta karmas. Then bridegroom's parents wish only one thing, in fact. They expect their daughter-in-law that she should mix with all of them wholeheartedly with love for them, regard for them, and care for them. If that one regard, love, and care is given to them, they become very happy wholeheartedly. They always be blessing their children, that is sons and daughter-in-laws, their children and all. Seeing the faces of grandchildren, they become very happy. So this is the greatness. So this is how the family, the whole family becomes very happy. When families are happy, the society is very happy. When society is happy, nation also will be very happy. That is, it grows in a very correct manner and can stand at the top of the nation, top of the world, we can say. So automatically mother-in-law loves and treats her daughter-in-law as more than her daughter because she knows that her son's happiness is dependent on the happiness of this girl. So, and after they leave the body, it is the daughter-in-law who has to cooperate her husband, that is their own son, to do the last rites. So all this knowledge is there in the mother and father, the parents of the boy. But the daughter-in-law, she may not be having because the necessity is there with the parents, whereas that girl, she is concerned only with the husband and their children, their family, their happiness. That Sankuchitattva was not there in our Sanatana Dharma since a long time, but nowadays it is coming. So broad idea should come. Sankuchitatva must leave and go away. So the mother and father, that is mother-in-law and father-in-law, automatically they become very happy when both of them are leading happy married life without any mental discrepancies or something. When they are very happy, the parents become very happy. So in fact, nowadays, of course, a little differences are coming. So the parents should take care even now. And then they all of them can live very happily. Shastra says, Agre Kulam Pariksheta. The family must be seen first before setting the marriage alliance. So in Apastamba Gruhya Sutras, in many slokas, Maharshi explained how to select a girl as a bride, what sort of girl should be selected and what sort of girl should not be selected. And similarly, what sort of vara is to be selected and what sort of vara should not be selected. Both the points Maharshi gave. He says, Bandhushila Lakshana Sampannam Arogam Upayecheta. A girl, if born in an orthodox family with good health and noble thoughts, that girl should be selected as bride. Then Bandhushila Lakshana Sampannam Shrutavan Arogavan iti Vara Sampat. The bridegroom should be born in an orthodox family with good health, having noble thoughts, and is well educated, having Shastra Jnana. This Jnana is more important. Education is more important to the boys than the girls. So such a person should be selected. Nacha Gunahinaya Karhichit. Never the girl's parents should offer her hand to a person who is not virtuous, who is having vices, bad durlakshanas, drinking, smoking, etc. That should not be there in the boys. So Apastamba Gruhya Sutras are saying so, saying like this, Yasyam Manas Chekshushaha Chekshusho Chekshusho Nibandhata Nibandhantasyam Vrithihi Na Negnetarana Itara Adriyeti Eke. So by seeing which girl the eyes and mind of bridegroom get satisfied, he feels happy. That girl can be selected if family history is noble and virtuous. Then similarly, if the girl's eyes and mind are fixed on anyone, suppose she likes any boy, then when that boy's family history is nice and virtuous, then he can be selected. So that is how the point is, both of them must like each other. So that is the point given there. They should get satisfied wholeheartedly, and with that ishta, we said, desire, they should get married. If they are not liking, then by force of the parents, if the marriage is celebrated, how can they live happily? Cannot. So one should not get married relationship with Sagutras and Sapinda people, because they are having the Samana Pravara, same Pravara. So they are to be considered as brothers and sisters. So while seeking the marriages, we should be very careful. We must bring from a far, that is other dynasty. That is this Vamsa, the Vamsa Rishis must be different for marriage. So all these points are, so many other points also are given in Yajnavalkya Smriti, Manu Smriti, and Harita Smriti. There's so many Apastamba Dharma Sutras and all. So Avipluta Brahmacharyo Lakshanyam Shriyam Udvaheta. And also it is said Aroginim Pratrumatim Kanyam Asamanarsha Gotrajam Ananya Purvikam Kantam Asapindam Yaviyasim are the conditions given to select the girl. Shastra says the girl should have brothers, at least one, either younger or elder, because if only girls are born and boys are not born to them, then at the time of performing this marriage, while doing Kanyadana, Kanyadata, the father of the girl, says with Vara that Asyam yo putraha jayate, same putro bhavet. The son born to her becomes my son because he does not have sons. So then he has to accept and give away. That is Dauhitra, we say, the son, grandson, the son born to their daughter become their son if they do not have sons. And such a Dauhitra got the right to perform even the last rites when the grandparents depart, when any others are not there. So in our tradition, marriage is not just the process which unites a man and a girl, a woman, but it is the union of two families, union of two dynasties, vamshas we say. It is very well said in Sita Rama's marriage in Ramayana. Once get united, this couple should together achieve dharma, artha and kama together. Of course, final parama purushartha is always independent, depends upon the vasanas and efforts and mumuksha of the jiva. Even then, this couple should strive to achieve moksha purushartha also. At the time of marriage, bridegroom says, Brahma praja sampatyartham striyam udvahe. I am accepting this girl as my wife for the sake of getting the most glorious Aishwarya, the Santana, through righteous manner, dharmika way. A person has to marry virtuous woman because when his mother and father leave the body and go away, she has to lead the light and support him in doing the last rites. So she should have that willingness. Suppose she says she will not cooperate, then what happens? What is the state of that boy and their parents? So a man should do Agni Karya every day. With the fire he worships on Upanayana day. Now with the fire he activates at the time of marriage. He has to do the Sraddha karmas. So at the time of Upanayana, the Vatu obtains a fire and throughout the life he worships that. Then at the time of marriage, the Gruhastha, Garhasya, Agni is given to him. Garhapatya, Akamaniya, Dakshinagni, 3 Agnis are there and 2 more Agnis are there, 5 Agnis, Panchagnis. Those 2 are a little different, not mostly worshipped and used by us, so not mentioning. So a person who becomes qualified to do Agni Upasana, then he performs Pradhana Pravesha Homa, Stalipaka, Agni Upasana, Vivaha Diksha, Diksha Visarjana, and Sesha Homas, etc. All these homas are to be done, performed by both of them. So a good Vara and that Vara performs all these, and both of them together, another so many yajnas are there to be performed at the time of marriage. So a good Vara should marry a Vardi Vathu by which God Devendra will be pleased and blesses the couple. Because when he becomes a Gruhastha, he will perform Yajna Yaga, the Kratus and all, offers oblations, Somarasatmaka Annam, we say. So to the gods, what all I am saying, all these are these points only. So it is said in Ekagni Kanda that Samaryama Samphagu Noniniyat Samjaspatya Suyamamastu Devaka. So Vara decides that by the blessings of Aryama and Bhagadeva, Bhagadevata and Agnideva, their Dampatya should be strengthened. When a Vardi girl is decided to be given in marriage to a Vardi boy, all the gods accept for that marriage. This is known by the mantra of Taittiriya Brahmana. Many mantras are there, which says that all the gods are accepting this marriage. So this marriage is celebrated with the blessings and acceptance of gods. So how can they trespass when they once tied with the bond? Should not. So Agni Deva says, Dadami iti Agnir vadati. Agni said, I am giving this girl to that boy. Is it acceptable to all of you? Thus Agni Deva questions all other gods. Then Tatha iti Vayurahatat. Then Vayudeva says, yes, okay. Tatha means let that be like that. Hanteti Satyam Chandramaha. Then the moon god says, oh, yes, yes. Satyam, it is true, you offer. Thus moon accepted. Then Aditya Satyam Om iti. Then sun god said, Om, yes, yes, you do. Offer this girl's hand to that boy. So, Apaha tat Satyam Aparat. Then Apaha, water, Jalathi Devata, Varuna Devata, even water god accepted to that. He said, Satyam, yes, both these two are suitable. You offer this girl's hand to that boy. Thus, when with the permission of all other gods, Agni Deva offers her hand to Vara. We feel that the parents are celebrating. These are all only instruments, whereas the real performers of marriage are gods. So first Agnihotra says to all of them, and with the acceptance of all the gods, Surya, Jala, then Chandrama, etc., all other Vayudeva and all, then Agnihotra gives and hands over finally. So that is Kanyadana. So done through gods with the pretext of Kanyadata, the father of the girl, washing the feet of the Vara, offers her hand to his hand while pouring the water, Jala. That is why fire and Jala predominate. They got significance and more important in our marriage celebrations. So if a girl baby is born in our families, we say the parents become very happy and they say Mahalakshmi is born in our family. So they carefully nourish that baby with all love, care and affection. But actually, it is the gods who are taking care of, and it is the gods who are nourishing the girls, not the parents. Parents are only apparently they are appearing. So it is all these gods, Gandharva, fire god, Gandharva, Chandrama, Surya, all these gods are taking care of her. How even this is given in the mantras, Ekagnikanda, and in all our Guruhya Dharma Sutras, these mantras are given, how the gods are protecting the girls. Somo dadat somaha adadada Gandharvaya. Soma gave the responsibility. It is the moon god who takes care of the girl since her birth till 10 years approximately. Then Somaha adadad Gandharvaya, Gandharvaha adadad Agnaye. Then Gandharva gave her care to Agni. Then Rayimcha Putramscha adad Agnir Makyamatho Imam. This is there in Ekagnikanda. When a girl baby is born, then onwards, the moon protects and takes care of her and makes her grow with, because the moon got 16 digits and every day one digit increases. Similarly, just as in Suklapaksha only, he makes all the girls grow. That is, all these girls, they grow, gaining digit by digit every year. So Shodasa Varsha, that is how we say. So that age is a proper age, we say. So that is why the small babies look very handsome, very attractive, very beautiful. Just as the moon attracts, the small children also attract, because moon is nourishing them. Thus, taking care of that baby girl, the moon hands over her responsibility to Gandharva for protection nearly at the age of 10 or 11. Of course, for till 10 years, he nourishes. Then it is Gandharva who has to take care of and nourish this girl. That is why 10th year onwards, at childhood, that attraction is different. When the girl gets matured and grows, and at teenage, her attraction and beauty is different. Gandharvas are very handsome. So they give their beauty to the girls. And also Gandharvas are experts in singing and in all fine arts. So all these Gandharva, Gandharvas give their talent of arts and singing, dancing, etc. And Sakitya, Sangita and Sakitya give to these girls, and that is why the girls, they develop of painting, all fine arts. So they become skillful. Thus, in the childhood, moon takes care. Then Gandharvas took care of her. Then the Gandharvas teach the girls the fine arts, and then they hand over at the approximately at the age of 17 to 18, they hand over to Agnideva. So then onwards, Agnideva starts to take care of them. In the olden days, they said the age is, of course, a little lesser. But nowadays, as per present days, these years are given at this Kali Yuga. So then Agnideva starts to take care of that girl, giving her chastity, Satitva, then Pativratya Shakti, the power to protect her chastity. And then at the time of marriage, Agnideva hands over her hand to Vara. So because all these gods took care of her, feel that this girl is their daughter, they are like fathers. So they bless this couple at the time of marriage with happiness, with satsantana, with a good married, happy, anyonya, anuragamaya, dampatya, we say. That pleasure and bliss is given by the gods as a vara. Then they give them Aishwarya, then Satsantana. So providing food to all of them till their end. Money, earning capacity, all these powers and capacities are given by gods to Vara and Vatu. So at the time of Upanayana, the Brahmachari prayed Agnihotra, Suprajaha Prajaya Puyasam, Suviro Viraihi Suvarcha Varchasa, Suposhaha Poshaihi, like that mantras are there. He prayed Agnideva to give him all these in future whenever he needs whatever things. So Praja means Santana, Varchas and Posha, Poshaka, nourishing power, etc. All these. So Agnideva accepted his prayer at that time. So whenever this boy needs whatever, that is being given to him by Agnideva. Now he gave a Kanya, a Vatu to this Vara to get married. A commentator by name Haradatta said that the Vara praised Agnideva as Yatha Gruhasto Bhavani Tatha Suprajaya Puyasam. When I become a householder, then favor me with good progeny, Santana, Sat Santana. The foremost purpose of marriage is to get Sat Santana. Prajaye Gruhamethinam, said Kalidasa Mahakavi in Raghuvamsha. So to become free from Pitru Runa, one needs son and children. So now we should know why they are called as Vara and Vatu. Vara means Sreshta, best. In those days, at that time, to that girl, that person who was selected by the parents, he is the best befitting person to her to be married. He is Sreshta for her. So the elders decided that person to be Vara. Vara means Sreshta. Most important, most suitable, Vara. Varamu, we say, gods give us boons. Why? Because that is quite befitting to us. That is the best thing we prayed for, requested. So that is called as Vara, the boon. So for that girl, he is the best person. Then why that girl is called as Vathu? Because he bears the burden of that girl and after marriage. So one who is being born, Bharinchabadedi, we say, is Bharya, Vathu, Uhyate. The Vyutpatyartha of the word Vathu is given as Uhyate Putrena iti Vathu. After marriage, she gets a son. So the husband bears her burden and she gets a son. So she is called as Vathu, Uhyate Putrena. So in our Sanatana Dharma, the marriage is a samskara. It is not just a function as treated by others, other religious people. So it is not celebrated just to live together friendly, but it is lifelong bondage. So many foreigners are nowadays understanding the significance of our Sanatana Dharma Bhatta Vivaha and are trying to follow our methods. So in our Sanatana Dharma, once when the marriage is occurred, then God Agnideva becomes the first witness. Then the bride and bridegroom live very happily till the end of their lives. And they will never get even the idea of getting separated. Not only that, many such couple believe that their bantha exists for several births, Janma Janmantar bantha. So they live very happily, never want to get separated, as is the habit of foreigners, which is now changing. But nowadays, due to bad effect of and influence of foreign culture, Western rule on us, even in our society, many people presently at this present age, many people are getting separated after marriage, taking divorce. In fact, taking divorce is not at all there in our culture, in our Sanatana Dharma, but they are doing. So in the youth, if the youth recognize the greatness of the marriage and the significance of it and the meanings of the mantras of the Vedas and the votes they are taking, aim of marriage, then certainly if they know the inner meanings and essence of marriage, mantras, then such mishaps will never occur in our society. So it is very essential to know the sanctity of the marriage and the meanings and antararthas of the marriage events. So now we will try to know the meanings behind the events of this ritual. So to us Bharatiyas, Sri Ramachandra and Sita Mata are the ideal couple. Ekapatnitva of Sri Ramachandra. So, and Pativratya of Sita Devi are ideal to all of us, to the whole mankind also. That is why we sing, that is Mrudapicha Chandanam Asmin Deshe Gramo Gramaka Siddhavanam. There is a very beautiful Geya song in Sanskrit. Yatra cha Bala Devi Swarupaka, Bala Sarve Sri Ramaka. All the girls are the incarnation, they are the forms of Devi Mata, Parvati Devi, Chastity, Mangalagauri, Swarupinis. Bala Sarve Sri Rama. All the boys are Sri Ramachandras. So that is the chastity. Mutual loyalty and confidence are the foundation of the binding attachment of wife and husband. We believe marriages are made in heaven, of course, but although we feel that we are doing this marriage, in fact, these are fixed with Runanubandha. So that is the most important point to be noted in our Sanatana Dharma. We always believe in the Praktana Kruta Karmas, the works which we do, as you sow, so you reap. Whatever relationships we created, whatever works we did, they have their effect. And thus the Sanchita Karmas are there from which we are bringing. We are implementing them, that's all. So in our marriages, we first invite gods to come, witness and bless the couple and all the gathering there. And next we invite relatives and friends especially the first couple should be the wife and husband who are elders to boys and girls, of course, in their family, the married couple, the elder married couple, Vruddha Dampatis, then they should invite all others. So the marriage takes place in front of 3 crores of gods, Kula Devatas, Ishta Devatas, Trimurtis, Trishaktis, Navagraha Devatas, Panchabhutas, then sun, moon, stars, galaxies, Devendra, Devi Devatas, Dig Devatas, and everybody, Pitru Devatas, everyone, fire god specially. So even our shadows are the witnesses to this function. Whoever are present there, all of them are the witnesses. So it is actually fire god, of course, who is most important witness, because with the fire and with the water only this kratu gets fulfilled. So even the sages, Saptarshis with their wives come there to that marriage and bless this couple. While while all of them are watching this couple, Vara and Vathu, these couple, they, Vara and Vathu, make promises. So all these are witnesses to the promises which the girl and boy are doing themselves. So then how can they trespass them? All these Vagdanas, the promises made by themselves. So if we have this knowledge, how can they become separated? How can they take any divorces? Can never. So now let us try to know the scientific and spiritual greatness behind the events of our marriages. All these are based on science. Scientific reasons are there behind each and every one. Scientific reasons, spiritual reasons, Achyatmika Karanas, they are all there. So some mantras, so many mantras are there, but we can take only certain few events and few mantras, because each and every one, of course, if we take, it takes hours and hours. So in the Vivaha Samskara of our Sanatana Dharma, there are certain prakriyas, we say, done with mantras. Prakriya means, kriya means karma. The work which is done, pra means prakrishta, greatly done, prakriya. Vaidika karmas are called as prakriyas, done with the mantras which purify with divine power. So the relationship between water and fire, Varuna Deva and Agni Deva, is very special. The process of Vivaha starts with water in the Kalasha and the flames of fire in that Vedic altar, Yajna-kunda. So during the wedding, beginning of the Kratu, it actually starts with Varuna and Agni. Vadhu's hands will be kept in the hands of Vara, and uninterrupted stream of water will be poured from the conch, the Shankha, into the hands, their hands, both Vara and Vadhu. So Jalam Amrutam, we say water is nectar, Amrutam. Mrutatva is not there, they are eternal. So electricity is generated from the water. We know this fact. So water is the conductor of electricity. So the flow of water causes electricity in the hands of both this Vara and Vathu, and through their hands it enters into their body, all the parts of their body, attracting each other. So then they get mutual attraction and also love for each other. So thus the love is created in them, attraction and love is created in both of them by pouring water through conch into their hands. So, and also pouring water through the conch awakens the spiritual energy in both of them, so that they can lead very dharmika way of life, doing the sadhana for the attainment of apavarga, moksha. So this process is to be realized that the marital relationship is not just physical, but it also creates devotion and love for gods and makes the couple do their household duties perfectly. They develop mutual love, they develop regard, because spirituality, spiritual capacity is awakened in them. They develop regard and devotion for gods. and become ready to do all Yajna-yagadi kratus. In our traditional marriage festival, there is a prakriya called as Yugachidrapisheka. Uttarena Yajusha Tasyaha Shirasi Darpenvam Nithaya, like that it goes. The darpa grass would be molded round, that is called as Invam. So it would be, it is like Chutta Kuduru we say in our Telugu, to keep the pot so that the pot will not fall down, tilted. So it is also like that Invam made with that darpa grass, which is very holy and pious. So that that spiritual power of darpa, there is Garika Sukta is also there in Veda, that got very good spiritual power, this Garika. So by keeping this invam on the head of the bride while chanting certain mantras, Tasmin Uttariya Dakshinam Yuga Chidram Pratishtaya, like that the mantras go. So keeping that invam there, a wooden log, a big log would be kept above the head of this girl, and make a hole on the southern side of that that big wooden log. A hole is to be made. Of course, that would be there, seeing that only they get. Then they should pray God Indra Deva with the mantras. So that hole is there to that Yuga Chidra, that is that log. Then a gold ring should be kept there, and pouring water through that hole and through that golden ring to fall on the head and body of this girl, Vadhu. They should utter certain mantras. Khe rathasya khena saha, khe yugasya shechipate, apalam indraha, trihi tripurtvi akarat, surya varchasam. So it is this mantra, it is there in Rigveda, Apala mantra. So this is said in Ekagni Kanda also, with a little difference. It is there in Rigveda and Ekagni Kanda. So, O Lord Indra, you have sprinkled water 3 times on Apala from the chariot sitting in which you are going somewhere, and made her holy, and also gave her good luster to her body, equal to the luster of sun god. Similarly, you please remove the defects of the body of this Vadhu and give her luster equal to sun. Thus, praying, the Vara keeps gold ring on the hole of that wooden log and pours water, which falls on the head of the Vadhu. So the story, there is a small story telling this, we will stop for today. The story of Apala, it is given in Rigveda mantras. It is like this. Apala nama kachit kanya shvitrini babhuva tam kanyam shweta roginim na kaschid upameye. This is given in Ekagnikanda and in other Brahmana Aranyakas, the story. Mantras are there in Rigveda. So there was a girl by name Apala. She was suffering from a disease called as a Panduroga, we say white spots. Bolli, we say in our Telugu nowadays. So no one came forward to marry her because she is looking like that. So one day she went to the river. Every day she goes, of course. And one day when she went to the river to take bath, she happened to see a Somalata coming, floating on the water. Immediately she picked it up. Then that Somalata, and she pierced that and squeezed it and brought Soma Rasa, and the juice of Soma, from that Somalata, she prepared Soma Rasa in a leaf bowl, we can say. Then Manasika, mentally she worshipped, she prayed Yajna. She performed Yajna, Manasika Yajna, to please God Indra, Devendra, and offered this Soma Lata juice, Soma Rasa, to God Indra. But when Manasika Yajna is done, and this, of course, Soma Rasa, she offered to Indra. Indra was at that time going somewhere, traveling through his, that is sitting in the chariot, ascending the Airavata. While he is going, he received this Somarasa. He became very happy. He is very much pleased by the devotion and Shraddha of the Sapala. So from the chariot itself, he sprinkled 3 times the water over the head of this girl. So through the whole of that chariot, that is why through the whole we are sprinkling the water, pouring, because Indra poured water through the whole of the chariot and cured the disease of this girl and also gave luster, very beautiful lustrous body is given to her by Indra. Then if gods are pleased, they will favor us. Tejo vai hiranyam, we say ayur vai hiranyam. Hiranyam is gold. When gold is kept there, gold gives us luster, glory and longevity. So the water purifies the body and soul. With the mantra, Shivenatva Chikshusha Pashyantu, please see her with your auspicious sight. They pray gods. And gods give her purity of body and mind. Make her body very lustrous and beautiful, handsome. These Yuga Chidra Abhisheka mantras got such a power. So later they make way this Vathu, where Mathuparkas with the mantra Uttaraya Yoktrena Sannakyati. They tie her waist with Yoktra made with darpas, which are very, the bridegroom should put a knot with the Yoktra. Yoktra is also like this thread only. While uttering the mantra, Ashasana Somanasam, and should hold the rope of darpas there. The meaning of this mantra is the girl who is having noble mind, desirous to get children, prosperity and beauty, is desired by me as my wife, life partner. So I am tying this Yoktra to bring her towards me to marry her. So regarding this Yoktra Bandhana, elders say that both wife and husband are like 2 bulls that pull the bullock cart in the form of samsara. So both are equal. There is no difference between wife and husband. They must do their own duties with mutual cooperation. So to pull this samsara ratha bullock cart, so this Yoktra Bandhana is the bride, that is Dharma Patni, accepting to cooperate in the Dharmika karmas done by her husband. By this Yoktra Bandhana, she accepted to behave as a Dharma Patni, following her husband in all his works. So in Veda Pasha, it is explained as Yatha Vivahe Striyaha Kanthe Mangala Sutram Lingam Tadvat. This is a sign, Lingam means sign, Gurtu, equal to that of tying Mangala Sutra in her neck. So this Yuga Chidra Abhisheka is also very important as that of that Yoktru Bandhana. So both these together, they make this girl very healthy, lustrous, chaste, happy and all. And he pulls her towards him and she accepts and comes. Here we will stop for today and tomorrow we will continue. Swasti for today.
ధన్యవాదములండి.
Dhanyawad.
Okay. We will go for Pradhana now.
Okay.
Shandilya garu.
చదవనా అండి?
చదవండి.
స్వస్తి ప్రజాభ్య పరిపాలయంతాం న్యాయేన మార్గేణ మహీషాః గోబ్రాహ్మణేభ్య శుభమస్తు నిత్యం లోకా సమస్తాః సుఖినో భవంతు కాలే వర్షతు పర్జన్యః పృథివీ సస్యశాలిని దేశోऽयं క్షోభరహితో బ్రాహ్మణాः సంతు నిర్భయాः అపుత్రా పుత్రిణः సంతు పౌత్రిణः అధనాः సధనాः సంతు జీవంతు శరదాం శతం సత్యం వద ధర్మం చరా స్వాధ్యాయాన్ మా ప్రమదః సర్వే భవంతు సుఖినః సర్వే సంతు నిరామయాః सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु। स्वस्ति।
ధన్యవాదములండి. లెట్స్ గో ఫర్ నేషనల్ యాంథమ్. చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा। जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय।
జై. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.